Hello everyone, welcome back to Daniel Speaks, and in today's video we're going to be diving into the history and the many controversies surrounding Pride Month. So buckle up and let's get started. Pride Month is a designated period typically observed in June. It's dedicated to celebrating and promoting the rights, visibility, and the dignity of the LGBT+ community. It originated from the events of the Stonewall Riots, which occurred in June of 1969 in New York City. During that time, LGBTQ+ individuals faced widespread discrimination, persecution, and harassment from society and the authorities. The Stonewall Inn, a popular gathering for the LGBTQ+ community, was frequently targeted by police raids. On the night of June 28, 1969, the patrons of the Stonewall Inn resisted arrest, and this led to days of protests and clashes with law enforcement. The Stonewall Riots became a pivotal movement in the LGBTQ+ rights movement. They sparked a wave of activism, community organizing, and the emergence of LGBTQ+ advocacy groups. So the following year, on the anniversary of the riots, Pride marches were held in several cities around the United States. Pride Month is important for a lot of different reasons. It serves as a commemoration for the struggle, the resilience, and the courage displayed by the LGBTQ+ individuals in the face of oppression and discrimination. It honors the legacy of the Stonewall Riots and the activists who fought for LGBTQ+ rights. Pride Month provides an opportunity for LGBT individuals and allies to be visible and celebrate their identities. It helps raise awareness about the diversities, challenges, experiences, and achievements of the community. Pride Month is also a time for advocacy and activism. It offers a platform to advocate for equal rights, it fosters a sense of community and solidarity in the community, and it provides spaces and events where people can connect, support one another, and celebrate their shared identities and experiences. Pride Month also celebrates the progress made in advancing LGBTQ+ rights and the increasing acceptance of gender diversity. It's also a great time to recognize ongoing challenges and work towards further progress. Pride Month has expanded globally, and it's now celebrated in many countries around the world. Although Pride Month has been considered good for the community, it's certainly not without its controversies. Historically, it's been considered controversial for a variety of different reasons, primarily due to the differences in social attitudes, religious beliefs, and political ideologies. Some individuals or groups may hold different conservative or religious views that consider homosexuality or gender diversity as immoral or against their beliefs. This can lead to the opposition and controversy when it comes to celebrating and advocating for the community during Pride Month. There's lack of understanding or misconceptions about the community. Stereotypes, biases, and misinformation can all perpetuate prejudice and discrimination. Some people may hold negative beliefs or harbor misconceptions, like the unfortunate belief that gay men are basically on the same level as child predators. In the past, Pride Month has received a lot of criticism for being overly commercialized, with a lot of corporations and businesses using it as more of a marketing opportunity without genuinely supporting the LGBTQ+ community. Additionally, some argue that the focus on the rainbow flag can overshadow or exclude other marginalized groups within the community, such as transgender individuals or people of color. Critics also argue that Pride can often emphasize sexuality and can be seen as promoting a particular sexual lifestyle, and a lot of individuals believe that discussions about sexual orientation should be private and not displayed publicly. Pride Month events and parades can sometimes be seen as political demonstrations. Some people may disagree with the political or social ideologies associated with these movements, or perceive them as overly radical. Many of the controversies surrounding Pride Month aren't just limited to individuals, but there have been many corporate controversies as well. One of the big stories this year was about big box retailer Target and how they received backlash after it was reported that they were selling Pride merchandise designed for children. There were reports of people tearing down their Pride displays and even threatening their employees. There was the Bud Light controversy, which started on April 1st when transgender social media influencer Dylan Mulvaney posted a video in partnership with Bud Light. Conservatives were immediately outraged at the trans influencer promoting the country's #1 selling beer brand, with celebrities and everyday people alike expressing their disgust and calls for a boycott. And then there's Chick-fil-A, everyone's favorite fast food chicken chain. They've received a lot of backlash in the past regarding their stance on LGBTQ+ rights. The company's CEO, Dan Cathy, has made public statements expressing opposition to same-sex marriage. This led to protests and boycotts by activists and supporters. There's also the Salvation Army. Some individuals and advocacy groups have accused the organization of discrimination against the community and their refusal to provide services to them. In 2013, the CEO of Barilla, an Italian food company, made homophobic remarks during a radio interview, stating that he would never feature same-sex couples in their advertisements. Hobby Lobby, an art and crafts retail chain, has faced a lot of controversy for its stance on providing contraceptive coverage for its employees. The company successfully argued that it should be exempt from providing certain forms of contraceptive coverage based on religious beliefs. This case raised concerns about reproductive rights and LGBTQ plus healthcare access. Although some companies may secretly or even publicly go against the LGBTQ plus community, adversely, companies who show their support for the community can be accused of what's called pinkwashing. Pinkwashing refers to the marketing or public relations strategy in which companies or organizations use support of the LGBTQ+ community or Pride Month as a way to enhance their own public image, while simultaneously disregarding or undermining the rights of the community, or sometimes even engaging in practices that can harm the community. Wells Fargo, a financial services company, faced pinkwashing accusations for its marketing campaigns highlighting support of the LGBTQ+ community while simultaneously investing in companies that were involved in controversial practices. Critics argued that Wells Fargo's actions contradicted their messaging of inclusivity and equality. In 2017, Budweiser faced pinkwashing allegations for releasing limited edition rainbow-labeled bottles during Pride Month. Critics argued that the campaign was a marketing ploy to capitalize on the community without taking substantial action to support the community. Clothing retailer H&M faced criticism for its Pride Out Loud campaign back in 2019. Oil and gas company ExxonMobil has also faced pinkwashing allegations due to its history of opposing LGBTQ+ rights and a lack of workplace protections. While the company has made some public statements supporting community causes, critics argue that their actions, including the absence of explicit anti-discrimination policies, reveal a bigger contradiction between their messaging and their practices. Critics also argue that during Pride Month, it can lead to things like tokenism or even the appropriation of the LGBTQ+ community. Pride Month has become increasingly commercialized, with businesses using symbols and language to sell products without actually contributing to those issues. The appropriation and the commodification can dilute the significance of the movement and reinforce harmful stereotypes. This is why it's so important to distinguish between genuine allyship and corporate exploitation for profit. The community is diverse and intersectional, comprising of individuals with varying identities, backgrounds, and experiences. However, there are concerns that Pride Month often prioritizes voices of cisgender, white, and more privileged LGBTQ+ individuals, while marginalizing or ignoring the issues of queer people of color, transgender individuals, non-binary individuals, and those who are marginalized from other communities under the umbrella. This lack of inclusivity can perpetuate the existing power imbalances and hinder progress towards true equality and justice for all. Pride Month's commercialization and focus on the celebratory events can sometimes overshadow the grassroots activism and activacy efforts that have historically driven the movement. While parades, parties, and corporate sponsorships do have their place, they should not overshadow or replace the ongoing work to fight for community rights, challenge discrimination, and address social injustices. With all these different fears, disagreements, and controversies, one of the biggest things that always seems to pop up around every Pride parade is really just the overly sexual nature of these parades and celebrations. Over-sexualization is a concern expressed by some individuals who believe that certain elements of these events may perpetuate negative stereotypes or contribute to the misrepresentation of the community as a whole. The concern primarily revolves around the public display of sexually explicit content, provocative attire, or behaviors that some perceive as inappropriate or not aligned with the broader goals of the community as a whole. And oftentimes, mainstream news media chooses to focus on the extreme, the obscene, and the over-the-top content, especially that of a sexual nature. Some argue that the celebration of sexuality is an essential part of reclaiming identity and challenging societal norms that have historically been marginalized. They view the inclusion of sexually suggestive elements as a form of empowerment, visibility, and freedom of expression. To address these concerns, many Pride Parade organizers and advocacy groups have taken steps to create guidelines, policies, and codes of conduct to ensure that Pride events maintain a balance between celebrating diverse expressions of identity and avoiding explicit or offensive content. Pride events strive to create safe spaces where participants can be their authentic selves without fear of judgment or discrimination, and maintain an inclusive environment for all. So no matter where you land on either side, whether you're for or against Pride Month or the celebrations, it seems that this is something that's here to stay. And whether you agree with this or not, it's always important to show respect on both sides. So tell me down in the comments, what's your opinion of Pride Month? Or what's your opinion of the community as a whole? Do you think that these celebrations can be too sexual and over the top? Or is this more backlash from people who don't support the community? Leave a comment down below. Make sure to hit the like button if you did. And I'll see you very soon with another new episode of Daniel Speaks.